I feel like sometimes we let music affect us too much. And by us, I mean younger adults or teenagers or whatever you want to call us. But I think there's a point where we have to draw the line between loving music and using music because everyone loves music. We all have our favorite song, our favorite album, our favorite artist, or a playlist for whatever situation or whatever we want, but there's a point to where you listen to music so much that it's not even to enjoy it anymore, but to just let yourself fall in it, which isn't necessarily a bad thing, but I feel like if you let yourself fall into music so much, you can't you can't swim out of it. You can't get out of it. You're just stuck there. And I feel like that's what ends up messing a lot of us up. And I'm included in this. I'm part of it because I I like to say I love music. It's music is something I listen to and use every day. I have at least 6 hours of music playing in my headphones, but there's times where I don't even realize it when it's just there, but it's not doing anything. And it just changes how I think so much because at that point I'm not based off of my thinking and the things that I know, but it's based on how the music affects me because I don't know how to explain it, but music just does something. It it affects us too much. But that's only because we allow it. Like I allow myself to listen to music so much that it changes the way I act, the way I think. Like I mean, I'll use this example. I'm not really over it yet, but there was this very close friend that I had. She was basically like a sister. And, you know, me being like every other guy, I ended up developing feelings for her, which I mean I hated. Because I genuinely wanted us to just be friends. I wanted us to be cool, but it just happened. I mean, thankfully it wasn't for a long time. It was only like a month or two, but I I I guess I was a little too obvious with it, or I didn't even try to hide it, but she knew, and it kind of drifted us apart. With to which, in any normal situation, I'd be okay with it. I'd understand because that's, you know, like I should have at least been upfront. I shouldn't have like done a whole confession like, "Oh, I love you. I want to date you." No, but I should have at least had the respect as a friend to let her know and tell her. But I tried to hide it from her, and I started acting differently. So when she started pulling away, normally I'd just be like, "You know what? Cool. I get it. I understand. That's my fault." But I was listening to so much like the 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 regular and basic like, oh, she doesn't want me kind of music, and and it just made me I just I just started acting a lot differently after that, and it just wasn't cool. It wasn't who I was. So it, it was all the music that I was consuming at that point. It didn't align with what I was really thinking or anything. I just feel like that was a main reason that I acted so differently because at that time there was nothing wrong going on in my life. Everything was good, everything was calm. And I mean, aside from that, there wasn't any troubles you could say. But it was the fact that I let that music consume me because I wasn't listening it to enjoy it anymore. I wasn't listening it because I liked the drums or the guitar or the beat or the lyrics or how the vocalist sounded. No, it was because I was just listening to music. It's like gluttony when you eat just to eat. You're not eating because you're hungry or because you need it to survive. No, you're eating just to eat. And so, at that time, that's what I was doing. I was just listening to music just to listen. And I feel like that also affected my memory and my the way I divide my attention, because now I struggle to remember anything because I'm just not paying attention anymore. I'm so I'm so flooded with noises and music that I don't know how to focus on something properly. And normally that's not something I'd be too worried about because I can change it, but I've been trying to cut down on the music and it just nothing changes. It's still the same. But I don't know, that's a big fear I had because it's not even my love for the music or production, but it's just an obsession with it. One that corrupted my thinking. And I mean, at the end of the day, there will always be people that do listen to music to enjoy it. At the moment, I might not be one of them, but I do love it. There was a time where I did love music and it was all I wanted to do. And I'm not saying it as in music's changed. Well, music has changed. It's not the same as it used to be anymore. But I was the one who changed. Normally when you love someone, there's always a debate of you either love them so much that you change, or you have to know when to not change. Because change isn't always a good thing. And that's something I realized with the music. I allowed it to change so much of my life that it's not normal anymore. I've been working to get it back on track, but it's affected so many of my decisions that it's scary. And it's not just me that I've noticed it on, but a lot of other kids, they listen to sad music and they end up diagnosed as depressed, to which they more likely than not are depressed. But I feel that at times it's just because of the music they listen to. Now, I do understand that some people listen to music like that to cope, because I mean, you never know what someone's got going on at home. You might be living your best life and you just see someone sad and you might be ignorant to their situation. And you might be like, dude, why are you sad? Just cheer up. Just have a good day. But I mean, at home, you never know what could really be happening. I mean, their dad could have been incarcerated. Their mom could have been, I don't know, deported. Their brother could have been killed, or their sister might have gotten diagnosed with a sickness, or their brother just didn't make it out the womb. And I don't know. There's always something going on. And like I said, at times music can help people with that. But there's also times, like me and many other kids, where we just let the music we listen to affect us. And this is, I guess, slightly off topic, but there's also the fact that a lot of black kids, they listen to the thug music and everything, the rap. And I'm not to say that I don't. No, I listen to that rap. I listen to that hip hop. I like it. I bump it, but I don't let that kind of music affect me because I've already been affected by other music. But to them, that's kind of all they know, especially with the other people in their blacker neighborhood. It's they don't have a proper role model, I guess, and so nobody really teaches them what's right or wrong. All they know is stealing, killing, and doing whatever they want. And they just want to earn respect. They just want to be seen, which in turn leads them to do stuff for others that might not be in their best interest. Because at the end of the day, whether we realize it or not, a lot of the stuff we do can affect other people. And that's like going back to myself. I don't want to sound oh, self centered, I guess. Because narcissistic wouldn't be the right word, I don't think. But it's much easier for me to use myself as an example. The music that I allowed to consume myself changed my actions, which not just ruined my friendship with my very close friend, but it also ruined a lot of the relationships I had with family members, to where I just didn't pay attention to them because I was so obsessed with music, and it just left a negative. It was to the point that I almost got fired at work for it, because I would just always listen to music, and I got reprimanded for it so many times, but I just kept doing it, and I don't know. It was just so bad. But at the end of the day, you only change because of what you allow. There are times where you just need to stand your ground or draw a line and be like, you know what? This is too much, or it's going too far, or I'm not myself anymore. And then that's when you kind of have to distance yourself from that. But, I mean, what do I know? What do I know?